Hello, Yael. Good afternoon.
Hey Roman, good afternoon.
How are you doing this morning?
All good, all good. Coming back from editions, I think brought up a lot of nice and interesting conversations. What do you think?
Yeah, exactly. Especially around what we're going to talk about today, which is how we are making updates to our theming system, and that's what we'd like to talk about today.
Yeah, there you go. Horizon, look at this.
So this is Horizon. Look at this. Isn't it beautiful? Just this what you see here is the editions website, the summer editions website, and it's a beauty. Yeah, what we're introducing here is indeed a new set of theme called Horizon, and we say set of themes because it's essentially one theme that has, I think, 10 different sub themes, if you will, that are based on the same architecture but look a bit different.
Right, and I think maybe it's a good point to mention that like why did we create a new theme? I mean, the way we look at it is like our new infrastructure for themes, I guess, in a way. So we kind of can future proof any new developments, features that we release for themes, rather than just creating more themes and patches on top. So while it's really beautiful, I want to say, there's also like a huge change in the architecture and the product approach with it. And I think what we kind of wanted to do today is firstly show you some beautiful themes here and how you can use some useful tools. But also, I think what we've been getting are quite a lot of interesting questions from our partners regarding theme development now that Horizon's on the table. And I guess we wanted to go through that, maybe do a couple of demos for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So because the question we're getting a lot is, hey, I am now in the middle of a project that's kind of using Dawn. If you're not familiar with this, Dawn is our default theme. By the way, it is still the default one, and that's the one that comes shipped with every new install or every new, let's say, dev store that's being spun up in Shopify. So that's important to kind of know. And the question is, if I'm in this situation, what do I do? And the answer is, well, you don't have to kind of drop everything now and just move over to Horizon just now. It's absolutely totally fine to keep working on the theme that you're working on so far. But if you start from scratch, and then you might want to show this, is the best way to proceed from our point of view is to use something that we call the skeleton theme.
Yeah, I'm gonna show it now. You have a nice quick link to it right here. And then it will take you to the GitHub skeleton theme repository where you can take a look at everything, learn how you can get started and connect to Shopify CLI, and then spin up a new Horizon store.
At least spin up like a new blank theme, right?
Yeah.
That's really bare bones and that sits on our architecture, and that you can just use all the blocks, all the sections and theme blocks that you want to work with. It's again is our recommended starting point for all theme development. So we'd really like to invite you to check out this part of
Right.
our documentation, should I say? Right. So, but how about we just briefly demo a little bit of what's been shipping in Horizon? What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it.
Should I just try and
Work your magic.
work the magic? Hopefully, it's magic because obviously you never know what happens in those situations. All right. Yeah. So
Live demo.
left demo is always full of adventure. Okay. So you should now see the back end. by the way, this is our demo store that we're using. And as you can see here, the Horizon theme is the one that we have published. And we just go to the theme customizer and see all this. Mind you, it's probably not the most beautiful combination of colors, and probably the products don't make a ton of sense at the moment. Selling beanies, sunglasses, and this blue thing, but you probably see where we're getting at.
We're solution engineers, not designers.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's such a fair point. Maybe someone should teach us design. That please, if you have an idea how we can get better at this, please let us know. All right. Okay. So I'm here. I'm just trying to solution the homepage of the store. So and this is something that you find familiar, right? So you have the context here, and you have the selector for the page. We actually select the homepage here. Now the relatively new thing is that you can here add a section, and I'll do this at the custom section. By the way, all those things that you can add here, all those sections, they now come with this beautiful preview, and it's quite easy to then select the one that you want to use, and makes it easier to select. But I want to use where was it? Custom section. There we go. So add the custom section, just save that. And then I'd like to add a block to this thing here, the custom section. So the first thing that I'm starting, and this is sort of the new thing. By the way, this only works in live stores until this moment. I'm not sure whether we're going to change this. So this is what you see here is a Live Plus store. So that's why we have the generate button here, and essentially this is what it's doing, right? So it's our AI supported block generation, and you can prompt whatever you want to prompt, whatever sort of crosses your mind when it comes to presenting products or content pages. I'll just go very boringly with the suggestion here, which is this vertical timeline. And what happens now is it is creating the actual code. So, behind the scenes, we have a language model, go through the requirements and building the CSS, building all the JSON and HTML that you would need to actually present such a block. And while this is doing it, and it roughly takes about 1.5 minutes, I'll briefly want to show you what else is sort of now easier, at least, right? It's because of what we're introducing the theme blocks into the theme customizer. And the great thing here is that you can now nest blocks within blocks, and you can just build really crazy kind of layouts based on that. So,
and I think that's one of the key differences between Dawn and Horizon, if we want to maybe amplify that a little bit. So basically Horizon, it leverages the theme blocks architecture that was introduced earlier this year with Dawn, and now we've incorporated with Horizon so that it enhances the customization capabilities, ultimately improves the customer experience, and gives better capabilities when it comes to design.
Yeah, 100%. And thanks for bringing this up, because it's probably easy to overlook that that this is indeed one of the sort of key aspects of the new Horizon theme complex. I mean, as intriguing this AI stuff might look, of course, it's important to remember that Horizon comes with tons of more flexibility because of the new theme blocks. Okay, so this is stopped rendering now. And what you see here is not only a preview of, this is kind of a vertical sort of timeline, but it also has its own, let's say, input and configuration fields. So not only did it build something that's static, but you actually have something that you can just work on, right? So you can just enter different dates here and just play around with the text boxes here. So this is really a powerful, let's say, starting point already. What you could then do is, follow up with instructions. Maybe you want to sort of reshuffle this or change fonts or change colors. But I just, for the sake of the demo, I just save this. And if we can then go to the preview, then you can see this nice sort of...
Look at that.
Amazing, right?
Amazing.
Not a single line of code necessary. So, talking of which, so the code that's generated is actually then stored within your theme, right? So you can then go and alter the code, which is great. So it's really a nice way of playing around with your ideas, bringing them to life, and see what they would sort of look like in your store.
Yeah, I think it can serve both as an end result, but also as a great starting point to start iterating and kind of like developing on top of.
Oh, absolutely. So, yeah. So this is the blocks, and just to add to this, what I could then do in theory is to say, well, just let's try and put sort of more, let's say, content elements into the section that we already built, and what we can do here is create a group within that, and in that group you can add another block, right? So you could generate a new AI block, or you can, let's just go for the header here and then add a new header within that group. And now it becomes really interesting. You can create another group and so on and so forth, right? So I think this already gives you an idea of how complex this can be, and I think it's really it's making creating complex front ends so much easier, because you can now nest those different elements within each other.
100% agree.
So this is our little kind of run through some of the features of the new Horizon theme. Anything, Yael, that we should add, that we should mention?
Yeah, maybe we can just quickly recap.
Mm-hmm.
What are firstly, let's talk about another significant difference, just to clarify that as well, maybe because we've gotten that question. So another key difference between Horizon and Dawn is that Dawn is an open source. And that's why we're also saying, if you're working on Dawn, any current projects, stay there. And it's not going anywhere currently, whereas Horizon isn't open source yet. And in terms of what we recommend, just like recapping what you said earlier, so continue with Dawn, start familiarizing yourself with Horizon using the skeleton theme. Plan for the future. So maybe try and plan further projects or new projects using Horizon, or combining somehow. And this is always like focus on learning the new platform primitives rather than trying to replicate Horizon features within Dawn.
Exactly. I mean, you probably could do this, because at the end of the day, it's still relying on the liquid, structure in a way. But it probably wouldn't make a lot of sense just trying to replicate this in Dawn. So yeah, like I said, it's a good starting point to keep using Dawn, to use skeleton theme in the CLI when you're starting from scratch. When you're thinking about adding a theme to the theme store or building a new project, building a new theme for a project. But then explore Horizon, because this is going forward. This is our main focus area, I would say. This will, receive all the latest and greatest features going forward when we update the platform, right? So it's definitely important to also keep your eyes peeled for the changes there.
Yeah. And let us know if you're working on an exciting project with Horizon, and share the beautiful outcome.
100%. So thanks very much. Thanks for listening. Thanks, Yael, for your time. And I see you around. Bye-bye.